Okay guys, so in our last tutorial we had a thug approaching the player, and then that thug pretty much just sat on top of the player doing nothing. Now we're going to focus on getting the thug to attack and kill the player, and also we want the player to be able to block the attacks as well. So we're going to need a global variable to identify if the player is blocking or not, so we're going to make that now.
File, edit, add global variables, global variable editor list, play new variable. New name, edit blank.
Just call it something like blocking.
Caps lock off. LOCKRG. Value, edit blank.
We'll set it to 0 to begin with, and we'll change it to a 1 when it is blocking.
0. Category, SFX player.
Put it in the player category to keep them all together.
New submit. New variable button. Closes the window. Sonus loop player. Player 7 on 7 level 1.
We'll probably save button 1 for actually attacking, so we'll use button 2 as blocking. So we'll go to the button 2 event on the player.
Used it open. Event, event, close. Button 2 pressed, but add action. So new action, new open. Close. But set global variable. See new variable. Caps lock on B, selection rim cap B.
Oops.
Close. Must add set global variable. Selected variable edit blank. Caps lock B. Caps lock off. LOCKRG. Value edit 1. Use submit. Add action button.
Okay, so button 2 press now sets blocking to 1, and I'm going to have button 2 release set it back to 0, so you'll be blocking when you hold button 2 down.
Open. Event. Combo box. Event. List. GDE script.
And we'll do this one in GDE script.
So edit multi-line blank.
So to set global variable in GDE script, the command is setgv, set global variable, space for the global variable name, which is blocking,
space,
and then the last parameter after the second space is the value 0.
Set blocking submit. GDE script button. Set global variable blocking to 0.
Perfect. So now we have blocking set. We'll now go into the thug.
Tree view. Player 7 on 7 level 1. Thug 3 on 7 level 1. Use periodical.
And on the periodical we're going to have the thug attack every now and then if they are colliding with the player.
Used events list. Creation not selected. Periodical not selected.
So right now in the periodical there's a bunch of, if the thug is further to the right or left than the player, then move closer, and further up or down than the player, move closer. So we're just going to put our rest of our code at the bottom of all this.
UN list selected. So add action.
And what we will do is we will have a counter, because we don't want the thug attacking every periodical loop. That's currently set to 1 second. So we'll have it attack every 5 seconds maybe, and what we'll do is we'll have a counter that counts up to 5, and then once that counter hits 5, and if it's colliding with the player, it will then attack. So we'll make a local variable for the counter.
So variables. New add. Name, edit blank.
We'll call
caps
it
lock on.
Attack counter.
A caps lock T T A C K C O U N T E R. Value at 0. A variable submit. Add button. Closes the window. Menu strip object properties.
So we only really want this counter going up if the thug is colliding with the player. So we'll put in a condition to see if it is.
Add action. Add new open. Position. New action. Condition begin. Selected can open. Condition call. Operator cap A Y R.
So condition begin, variable set to call for collision, operator equals, and then the value player.
Submit. Used events if selected. And if currently colliding with a player object.
Then underneath, inside that condition, we want to increase that attack cycle.
So add action. If open. Action close. Add local variable. Cap variable. Variable cap T A C K C O U N T E R. Map 1. Use and submit. Use attack increase if currently colliding with a player object. Increase local variable attack counter by 1.
Fantastic. Now we want it, if that attack counter is above 5, we'll set the attack counter back to 0 and we'll create an attack object, and then we'll also pause the audio on this thug. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an attack object that essentially quickly checks if the player is blocking or not. If the player is blocking, play a block noise. If it isn't blocking, play a hurt noise, decrease the player's health, check if the player is dead or not, and then destroy itself. And it'll do that every time. And then the whole purpose of that object is just to play the noises, check if the player's dead, and then it's served its purpose, and it'll destroy itself. And it'll do that every time the thug wants to attack. So we will now check if the local variable attack counter is above 5.
Menu open. Position indicates. Condition begin. Condition open. Caps T A C K space C O U N T R. Operator. Comparator. Check variable. G C. Edit blank. 5. Submit. Action button. Use the if list if currently colliding with a player object. Increase local variable attack counter by 1. If local variable attack counter is greater than 5, then add action. New open. Position indicates the current and set local variable. New action. Variable edit caps lock A caps lock T T A C K C O U N T E R. Value edit 0. New submit. Used events. Edit add action. Pressed. Add new set open action open. Line set create object. Selected a game object. Game object edit blank. Cap T caps H U G caps A caps T T A C K.
We'll call the object handle this thug attack.
Game
we haven't
action.
made it yet.
Submit. Add action. Creator list. Creator thug attack.
But we can still create the command to create the object, even though the object hasn't been set up yet. And then I also want it to pause the audio on this thug, because I don't want the thug to still be playing its walking noise while it's attacking.
So add action. Set open. Get audio. Set open. Set. Stop audio. Unload pause audio. Pause audio. You submit. Use set local variable. Set list. Use new position for loop condition end. Select and submit.
End
action.
The conditions.
New open. Position for condition end. It's new add action button.
Okay, so our added code now at the bottom is
if list set local variable attack counter to 0. If currently colliding with a player object. Increase local variable attack counter by 1. If local variable attack counter is greater than 5, then create a thug attack that object. Pause audio. Set local variable attack counter to 0. End if.
Perfect. Okay, so let's make the attack object now.
Game objects. Tree drop add game object. Name. Caps lock T. Cap A U G. Caps lock A. Caps lock T T A C K. Name. New event creation. List unknown. New add action. Open. Position. Condition begin. New close variable list G. Condition set cap B cap L O C K A G. Open. New condition. 1. New if list if global variable blocking equals 1, then add new action open. Position indicate. In play audio. Small sound edit cap P cap L A Y R caps B cap L O C K mod 1.
Okay, I haven't actually loaded these audios in yet on the creation event, but I will. So this is just going to play a block if blocking is equal to 1, and then we'll also play player hurt if it isn't.
New submit. Add action button. Play new add action. Play add action. Apply open. For condition end. New add action button.
Let's just do the next bit in GDE script.
Add GDE script. If G blocking it. Selection removed.
So if
if space caps lock G,
global variable,
caps lock off, space, caps lock
locking,
on, B, cap LOCKING, space, bang, equals,
does not equal,
space, caps lock C, cap space,
constant,
1,
next line, play
PLA,
A,
space,
for play audio,
caps lock off, P, caps lock off, LAYER, caps lock on, H, caps lock off, URT,
player hurt,
space,
at volume 1,
1,
and then we also want to
UB,
sub
G,
global
V,
variable,
space, caps lock P, caps lock LAYER, caps lock off H, P, caps lock off, space,
player HP,
5.
5,
ENDIF,
end if. And now at the bottom of that we want to check if the player health has gone lower than 0, and if it has we will play a death noise.
IF, space, caps lock G, space, P, cap LAYER, cap H, P, space, less, equals, space, C, space, 0, caps lock off,
So if global variable player HP is lower than or equal to 0, and then what we'll have that do is we will have that create a player dead object.
CREATE, space, caps P, cap LAYER, caps D, cap EAD, dot DAT, DESTROY, ENDIF. If G block submit, GDE end if play if list end if not selected, if global variable blocking equals 1 then play player block at 1 volume, end if global variable blocking does not equal 1 then play player hurt at 1 volume, subtract global variable player HP by 5, end if global variable player HP is less than or equal to 0 then create a player dead.dat object, destroy self, end if.
Okay, great. And
Used
now
events.
we'll also just add a destroy self onto the audio finished for when it plays the block or the player hurt.
Event creation. Subtract audio finished. New add action. New game object. Apply action. Set destroy self. New submit. Add action button. Submit. Stream zone object properties.
Oh, I know what else we need to do.
Thug attack. Level new audio finished. Used events list. Audio finished.
When audio finished on the thug attack, we also want it to resume the thug walking.
Zone add action. Add a new action. Apply to. Grouping. Self radio button checked.
Add action, but we don't want it to apply to self, we want it to apply to other.
Loop other. Other. Radio button pressed not checked. Check. Edit blank.
And we want it to apply to thug.
Caps lock on. T. Caps lock off. HUG.
And then the action is
open.
Resume audio.
Position. New action. Submit. Resume audio. Select submit. Add action. Use the move action up. Move action up. Resume audio on thug. Move action down but list. Resume audio on thug. Destroy self.
Great, so on the audio finish now, it will resume audio on thug and then destroy self. Fantastic.
So pick up sound.
Okay, the next thing we need to make is... well, we need to make the player dead object. So we can do that.
Game object. Drop, remove add game object. New game object. Caps P, cap AYER, caps D, cap EAD.
So this is just pretty much going to clear all the objects straight away
action.
on its creation event. So it's going to destroy everything except for itself.
Position indicates the current vertical position and new action. New action. Wait, clear all objects. Selected, submit. Add action button. Add action. Add new open. Position in. Set lit. Play audio. New sound. Caps P. Cap LAYR. Cap ED. 1. New add action list. Play player dead at 1 volume.
And that's another audio file that we have not yet loaded into the game, so we'll do all this at the end. And then on the audio finished of this, we want it to destroy itself, and we also want it to create the loader object again, so it'll essentially like load the game up again from the beginning.
Open. Event position. Event list. Or add action. Page position. Create object. New get up. Game on. Game on. Cap. DER. New sub. Add pressed. Use. New action. Destroy self. New submit. Add action. Create list. Create a loader not that object. Destroy self.
Great, I think that should do for the player dead.
Creation. Used events list. Creation not selected. Submit. Sonus GDE add comment.
And then we also now need to make sure we have our variables. We need a player HP making.
GDE edit. Edit. Global variable editor. New variable. Cap new variable. Cap P cap A R cap A caps lock ops cap new value. Edit blank.
We'll just set it at 30 to begin with.
Open. Player.
In
New
fact,
value. 5.
we'll set it at 15, so if the enemy attacks us 3 times, we should die.
Submit. New variable Mac closes the win. Tree view menu strip 1.
So we now have the player setting and unsetting the block by holding button 2 in. We have a thug
Use periodical. Used events.
that will constantly check if it's colliding with the player. If it is, it will increase its attack counter. If its attack counter is above 5, it will create a thug attack object, pause its audio, and then reset its attack counter. And then the actual thug attack object gets created.
Tree view creation. Used events list. Creation not selected.
We'll check if the player is blocking. If it is, it will play a block noise. If the player isn't blocking, it will play a player hurt noise and subtract the player HP by 5. And then after it's done that, it will check if the player HP is less than or equal to 0, create the player dead object and destroy itself.
Audio finished.
If it doesn't get to that point, if player HP does not equal or is lower than 0,
audio finished.
It will just resume audio on the thug object, let it carry on walking, and again destroy itself. And so the player dead object,
a player dead. Tree your creation.
Just
used events list.
Clears all objects, plays player dead, a player noise, and then on audio finish, it destroys itself and starts the game again. So the last thing we need to do now then is load all those audio files in that we've been using.
Loader. Tree view player delete add action. New open. Line up position. Unload load audio. Select new browse. Items name player block. Selected position. Open button. New sound there. Cap CK. New submit. Sonus GDE used events. Load move pressed. Add action. So apply open. Unload all audio. Unload audio. Browse. Name items open new sound there. Cap new sound play H submit. Delete add action pressed. New open. Position indicate its top audio. Load audio. New browse. New items new position. New new sub use add action button.
So I've now loaded 3 more audio files in called player block, player hit, and player death, and I just want to verify that I've got all those names right that I've been using throughout. Player block, player hit.
Player dead. Load drop editor. Audio list. Load audio player hurt with file video free enemy attack and player death player hit not on. Load audio player hurt with file video free enemy destroy set both thug attack.
And then just player death we need to check as well.
Creation.
Player death. Player dead.
Game on. Loader 1 of 9 load edit.
That needs to be called player dead, not player death.
TD for user. You list load of a Sonus file and save project. Say yes. Press. Use the proper load audio walk right with file video 1 walking around player walk right dot on list.
Okay.
Load audio play wall run.
We'll give this a go. So what we'll do is we'll let the enemy come towards us. We'll put him a little bit close to begin with, actually.
Tree view. X. 5. Object properties.
So he should now walk up to us, wait a little bit, hit us. We should be able to also block that attack, and then he should be able to kill us. So we'll try that.
Game on run.
Loading.
Close debug mode button.
Oh, I remember now the last tutorial that we made.
Sonus GDE v2.2.1 object. Loader.
We removed the thug and put a potion in its place. So
loader 1 on create a potion dot list. Create a potion dot that object. Drop edit action. Of object potion form edit caps. FEG.
So now we'll replace that again with a thug.
Submit. List. Get run.
Loading.
Close debug mode button.
And that's the enemy attacking us. Now we need to also see if we can block those attacks.
Debug mode.
So if I now press 2. Brilliant, and that dealt no damage. Now if I let go of 2 and he attacks me again,
Loading.
it kills me and the game restarts, which is exactly what we wanted to happen.
Close debug. Press a wall.
Great, okay guys, thank you for watching.